Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lover Society. And tonight we are looking at the Port Askaig 16-year-old from the Islay region. It is a source whiskey, and from a little bit of digging, I did find some information thanks to the whiskey base. It seems that they are sourcing this one from Kulila. So I do have also the 12-year-old Kulila. I got a gift as a friend, and of course wasn't a big fan when I opened up the bottle. It did take some time to open up a little bit to give more flavors. In the end now, almost half the, well, more than half the bottle gone, so I do start to enjoy it more. As you know, I'm not a big fan of some of the peated ones, especially the hospital iodine TCP type of smoke. But some of them are really nice over time. The wee beastie 5-year-old for me really became so much better after about 6 months on an open bottle. The Arpec 10-year-old, absolutely fantastic given some time, well, for me anyway. It needed that time. It brings down a little bit of that smoky, tarry, hospital peated taste to it. Really improve with some time. But tonight we are talking at the Port Askaig 16-year-old. Now I did a review on the Port Askaig 8-year-old, and I was very happy with that one. Unfortunately, I drank it all, so I don't have a bottle anymore to compare the two between the 8 years and the 16-year-old. But what I can tell you about the 8-year-old, it was a little bit on the youthful side to me. That was the only complaint that I really had. And I added a couple of drops of water, and that changed it completely. So I do like it. I love the nose of it, and I love the taste of it. And of course, it's only one negative point. So 16-year-old, this one is of course sourced from what I understood from Kulila. It is a single malt. Of course, it is a peated whiskey. And of course, it's bottled by the Specialty Drinks Limited. This is a 2015 bottle, so I did look online to see if I can get more information with regards to the 16-year-old on the Port Askaig website. Really a terrible website. Not a 16-year-old bottle to be seen on their website. So no information from them. It is matured in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry cask, so quite like that idea with the mixture. Only thing that I normally worried about, if I use the ex-sherry cask, a little bit of that tanniny note gonna come out, a little bit of a bitter note. And price-wise, this is a sticky situation. I did a little bit of research last night, and you can get it anywhere from 107 up to 270 euro for a bottle, if you can find it. So it came out, I think it was just under 100 euros at my online store. And unfortunately, I think most of the bottles are sold out. And if you can find it, it's going to be on the secondary market or a small little shop or a small online shop that is going to take advantage of the fact that it's not really available anymore, and they are going to charge you an arm and a leg. It is bottled at 45.8% ABV. From what I understood, it is natural color and non-chill filtered. Not 100% sure about the non-chill filtered, but that is the information that I saw some people were talking about. So don't quote me on it, because I am not 100% sure, and of course no information on this specific bottle on their website. So maybe Port Askaig or the Specialist Drinks Company, maybe it's a good idea to update your website so that we can find more information on the whiskey that we are paying a lot of money for. So on to the whiskey itself. I did expect 16-year-old, I do expect to find quite a lot of color. And of course they have the sherry cask. So there is a nice color to it. more a little bit of a golden color. So I don't think the maturation in the sherry cask was quite a long period of time. Considering 16 years old, I expect maybe a little bit more color to it, a little bit of a red color to it versus just a copper color. So I suspect it was quite a dry cask, and of course maybe the maturation on the sherry cask was not very long. But anyway, leg wise, it is got a little bit of a oiliness to it, but a little bit thin legs for me, but it's quite not very viscous, this one, but there's definitely a hint of an oiliness to it. So on the nose, cheers. Oh, but on the nose it is so nice. Now immediately I go back to the 8-year-old, and the 8-year-old was fantastic, except for that youthfulness of the alcohol, and here I can tell you it's gone. This is really soft. There's a sweetness to it, but if you would have given this glass to me and tell me that it was a sherry cask influence in it, I'm not getting much of that. I get more, a little bit of a little citrus note coming out. I get that smokiness, but if I compare that to the Kulila, the 12-year-old, and maybe it's a good idea, but it is so much more subtle for me. The smoke is there. It's a little bit on the border between that hospital tar note. It borders onto a little bit of a bonfire ashy note. So not really the smoke from the fire, but more the smell from the ash that's left over from the fire. But there's a lovely sweetness to it, but again not overly sweet. It's more, and a little bit of a honey note. So a light honey, not an overly sweet honey note coming out. It is really nice. And something that I picked up on the 8-year-old was the licorice, but I think that was a salted licorice if I remember correctly. And this one is more towards a red licorice for me, and a hint of a strawberry note also, more something like strawberry jam. Oh, this is really nice. And the alcohol wise, it's 45.8% ABV. I really don't get that on the nose. Not strong, very mellow. A hint of a briny note also in the back, but just a hint of it. Absolutely, I do like the nose, and in fact I like it so much better than the 8-year-old. So that extra 8-year-old, who did it do wonders for us. So on the taste, cheers. Immediately it tells you this is smoke. It is a sweet smoke. I was a little bit surprised. I thought it's going to be much more or much less sweet on it, especially with the little bitter note in the end. On the first sip, didn't get anything on the oak, but let me just make sure. On the second note, I do pick up a little bit of that oakiness coming out. I get that little bit of a tar note, just a hint of it. So going into a little bit of the wrong direction for me, not at the smoke, and more into that hospital TCP, a little bit of a tarry note. Still not offensive. And next thing that I do pick up is a little bit of that oakiness, definitely on the second sip. The first sip I didn't pick up a lot of oak. The second one, it was a little bit of a build up, and I can definitely see the European oak coming into play here. Or the cask has given up quite a lot over the 16 years, especially the bourbon cask. I presume probably more than the 15 odd years in the bourbon cask. So I'm not sure about the quality of the cask, but definitely after so many years in the cask, of course, it's going to have some of that oaky tannins, but still not offensive for me. Let me just give it one more try. This is quite dangerous. At that high ABV, 45.8%, I still don't get it. At least today it's not so hot. My previous video that I made, I think it was about almost 40 degrees in my apartment. So the temperature is down. Absolutely fantastic. If I look out, the sun is shining, a couple of clouds in the sky, and it is 6 o'clock in the evening. Fantastic weather. I was planning to do it on the outside, do a quick video showing you the perfect weather, but when I realized my neighbor is rebuilding his house, and it is one hell of a noise, drilling, hammering, quite a mess, and I think it's going to be quite a mess for a couple of months before he's finished. But anyway, rant over. Just a quick reminder for the people who watch up till now, if you do like the video, please consider to subscribe. We are moving towards the 1,000 subscribers, and of course all money that comes in for the AdSense from YouTube, not much is going to go for children in South Africa. They are facing quite a difficult time. We are looking after 85 families, 73 children. So if you feel like you want to contribute, subscribe, and of course help me to get 1,000 subscribers, and of course that will help to get some revenue so that we can support these children. Rant over, talk over, begging over. So back to the whiskey. Just one more try. A little bit of a toffee note also coming out, but again it is so drinkable. Definitely not going to add water to this one. I like it this way. For me that is absolutely perfect, and of course a nice balance between the sweetness and a little bit of that oakiness in the end, just to make sure that it is not too overly sweet. But definitely this one I will recommend to anybody if you can find it. Definitely I'm not going to pay more than 110 euros for this one. If I want anything above 110 euros, just forget about it, because that is definitely not worth it. There's so many better whiskies out there at a better price. There's one shop 270 euro for this bottle. They must be bloody mad if they think they are going to sell it. Well, most probably some idiot will be buying that bottle, but I can tell you now, you are going to be disappointed if you pay 270 euros for a bottle. Maybe 100, by the hundreds, maximum 120. I think you'll be quite happy with this one. If you like Islay whiskies, if you like the smoky whiskies or the peated whiskies with a little bit of an iodine, that little tarry note, a little bit of a hospital note, a TCP note, there's a hint of that, not the overly top Lefroy type of note, but a little bit more in between. Absolutely fantastic. Let me know what you think about it. Have you tried it? Do you like it? I also looked online. Not a lot of people have actually tried this one. Well, I could not find a lot of information on this one. Let me put it at that. So there's a lot of people drinking it, and they didn't say a word about it. That also means maybe they didn't like it. Let me know your comment. Did you like it? Would you recommend it? And of course, what is the price that you are willing to pay if you have to replace the one that you've had already? So thank you very much for watching, and I see you next time. Cheers.